Recording, I see.
All right, there we go. We are recording now. Yeah. Well, welcome to another episode of Modern Day Prophets. And I'm Dustin, your host. And I'm so excited to be able to do this interview yet again. I appreciate your time, Oliver. We had a little, actually, I had a little faux pas with the recording button, the last one that we did, but Oliver, you've been gracious enough to be able to do, I'm like, where did the recording go? And then I realized what I did. So it just leads us into our intention of this conversation about how we talk about life and how we talk about, you know, some of your accomplishments and also what happens when life doesn't necessarily work out the way that we planned and what lessons we carry forward in that life. That was just another shining example of my life that sometimes your expectations don't get met. And so I'm really glad that we can do this again. Hopefully Simba will not meow this entire time, but he may, okay. Just so you know, because I'm at home and he just decided to wake up. So, but why don't you take about 5 or 10 minutes and introduce yourself and some of those things that really that you're proud of. And he is going to hang on just a second. All right, thank you for the pause and taking care of that distraction. Back to looking at, go ahead and introduce yourself. You have so many accomplishments behind you. I just tell the audience about you and just where some of the things that you've gotten to experience.
Hello, everyone. I am Chef Oliver Hale. You probably know me as Chef O. I'm very happy to be here this morning. I'm sitting here in my office here. You probably noticed that I noticed some of the stuff behind me there, what that is. Don't boo me or say anything bad about my Ohio State stuff. I'm a big Ohio State fan. I am a retired, healthy lifestyle chef. Some people say, well, no, you tell everybody but you really are a world-renowned chef, because I did a cooking demo in England last year. Got a chance to go to England. I was invited there. I am a 31-year kidney transplant recipient, 2-time kidney transplant recipient. And also, I am a motivational speaker in the area. I love doing a lot of things, and due to my transplant, I have had the last really almost 35 years. The first one lasted from 1985 to 2007, and the second was 2012 till now. And over those years, I have had a very full lifestyle, because I believe in saying by taking if you get a chance to live a second life, in which I have, you make it even better than the first life you had. So I hit the ground running, and success have really came my way in a lot of different form and fashion. I'm sitting in I call it my little man cave, and I'm turning over here, and you can see some of my accomplishments by all the trophies.
You covered up the audio. There we go.
Okay.
The audio just got covered up. You're good.
Oh, okay. Audio got covered. Okay. And I have achieved a lot over my last 35 years in different categories. I am a member of the United States Transplant Olympic team. I am a fencer, a pickleball player, and tennis player. And I have achieved right now 31 of these little bookers here. I have 31 medals I have won by playing and across the United States in 9 different countries. I have 19 of them are gold medals, and the rest are just junk, second and third place. You know what it is. So all this came about because of my transplant. I took my cooking career, went back to college, got a degree in business, but also got a degree in culinary art, and also hotel, restaurant management, hospitality management. And I used those in my career by went from regular manager to a corporate manager to different events from restaurants to golf resorts to hotels, taking my job. I've been voted best chef in Grand Rapids twice. I've been voted by the American Tasters Guild one of the top culinary arts chefs in the United States in 2002, and on and on and on in different awards. But what I have done, I've taken a bad situation and made it good for me in my life by doing all these things because I had the opportunity and I love doing what I have done, and I take life very seriously. Sometimes we look around us and always and complain about what things we don't have and do have, and I just look around and think about all those who are worse off than I am. So I am very happy to be in my situation. What was I saying? I used to be blue because I didn't have no shoes till I went down the street and saw the man with no feet.
Yeah.
And so you put that in perspective and you live your life so lovely around that.
Yeah. Well, and I know in our last conversation when we were talking about some of these lessons that you've learned, I think that this is where I look at things too. And I think a lot of people these days, we're not teaching how to change your perspective.
No.
We're not teaching the ability to be able to do that because everything that you've been through, everything that you've done, it has gone back to the ability of being able to change your perspective about it.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, hands down, like that's an ability that you've had, and look at where it's brought you through life.
When I go out and do things, I don't go out to try to win all the awards and all the medals. I go out and do my best. My best brings me a achievement of an award or a plaque or trophy or anything. That's good. And what that does, it motivates me to even do better and try harder and keep going. And I had always said I was going to keep playing tennis and pickleball and fencing until I get beat twice in a row in a world and national tournament. And that hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
So I'm in the age category now where I'm playing in a different age category.
Okay.
And I have really enjoyed it. But it's my parents. I was raised in a little town outside of east of Dallas called Greenville, Texas. And my parents didn't have much. They was workers. My mom picked cotton until I was in the 7th grade. And so they showed us to appreciate money, the value of money. We didn't go on these long vacations and going on trips here and there. My trips every summer was going to my grandma's house, in which I loved it. Mm-hmm. But they taught us to appreciate the value of money and life. Like my friends across the street, parents worked in big money and they had got everything. They got a new car almost every other year. They got the fancy clothes. My parents taught us that we got new stuff, but we didn't get the name brand stuff. Like they had Jordache, we got Jar.
Right.
they had a Reebok tennis shoe, we got Bob tennis shoes. So it's not the fact that you have to get the best stuff. You have to learn how to take your money and use it. And like I say, my parents did the best they can to raise us and teach us values. And that's what they did. They taught us mental value. Like my mom always taught us, when you're out in the public eye, do your best because you never know who's watching you. And one she said, son, remember this. The toes you step on today may connect to the butt you got to kiss tomorrow. So whatever you do, don't step on toes. So all those little things like that goes a long way.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to ask you, not just, and I'm going to ask you this too, outside of your family, but who was your biggest role model in your life growing up?
You got to go through categories. Mm-hmm. Let's say in general.
Well, that's why I was saying like family and then maybe outside in.
Well, you always have family first,
mm-hmm.
and then you have people that you meet down the way. And I had the fortune to meet a lot of great people. Like back in 1999, I was asked to do a TV show. a TV show. Me? What kind of show? Cooking show. They were somebody wanted. I said, I can't do no cooking show. And there was one guy that I always admired about cooking, and I thought I can write him. His name was Emerald Lagasse, Mr. Bam Bam. I wrote him, and he was one of the few people that I knew that I can write and depend on. He set the stage, tennis area. Arthur Ashe. He was one of the greatest tennis players that I knew. That if I could do something, I can do it. And tennis was my game, and I looked up to him. Um, there was people who just did things to me. Not only the ones I look up to. Somebody can say something to me, like I was told that I would never become a chef. I was told that I would never become a chef, and award-winning chef. They say you can forget about that, because I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and back then the high hope of me being an Afro-American chef and award-winning chef was not even in the picture. So when somebody just plain out told me you're not going to be able to do it, that motivated me. Said I'm gonna show him. So when I received one of my first chef's award, I went back to Texas to find this guy, and believe it or not, he had passed away. Um, there's people have seen and just hearing him speak. I'm a big Denzel Washington guy, and you're talking about a motivator. You can, if you ever hear his speeches and hear what he said, and like I say, and there's two things I have did with my employees out of all the years I've been manager, chef, kitchen manager, a corporate manager. I was general manager of a golf resort for 6 years. Two words he always, Denzel said you can use that goes a long way. Please and thank you. Can you please do this? Can you please do that? And when they do it, say thank you. That goes a long way.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. And, I think as human beings, we complicate these things. And even when, we look at these goals or accomplishments or things that we want and we don't understand, like it's the daily things that we practice.
A daily thing. And really,
get us there.
If you do it and doing it is not, you don't go out your way of saying it and do it. It just comes natural.
Yeah.
It just comes natural. And I believed in, you strive to climb a ladder. And that's one thing back in the 70s, I learned to do. Somebody told me, in life, you have to climb this ladder and keep climbing that ladder. You would never get to the top of the ladder because there's goals and things you set. Mm-hmm. And if you can set them and keep climbing that ladder to get to where you want to go, they said, but one thing, when you do climb that ladder and you get to a certain point, reach back and grab someone and bring them with you. That's mean going back to tell somebody what they can do to be successful. I call it like the word they used to call now, it's called paying it forward. Yeah. Because I done had two families, Dustin, two families who had lost loved ones to make my life what it is now.
Yeah.
And I wrote letters to both families and to let them know what my life is like now, but neither one have responded. And I think about them two families all the time because they have lost someone in their life who could have went on and did something great in this land of ours, but something happened. But they also had a generosity to say, hey, let's make somebody else's life better. Yeah. And I'm one of those persons. Yeah. And so I look at that also.
I found a beautiful quote after our last interview, and stewing upon what we talked about and what I felt got lost in that conversation, and what I wanted to bring forward from it as well. And I came across this beautiful quote by Brene Brown when she talks about from a perspective of those people, when we lessen ourselves to others because they've lost something or because of something that they've gone through, when I have to believe these families that are with Donate for Life, like you honor them, you honor their loss through you being your best.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean,
you know,
I
it's
got to
not like,
imagine that that's got to be the greatest story for them too, that they can see from experiencing such a loss as well.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I just think about it. Even though I wasn't a bad person in my younger days before transplant, it just motivated me to go even try even harder and do a little bit more in
Yeah.
my life. Because, like I say, if you set, I was on dialysis the first time for a year and a half, and the second time for 4 hours, and you get a chance to get off of those machines and live a great life, you only can just think about those families. I mean,
Yeah.
and thank them. And I still say today, I wish there somehow where I could just meet them and just sit and talk to them, let them know what my life like, so they know what
Yeah.
they did was a total loss. Was not
Yeah.
a loss.
Well, and I think, let us take this moment to appreciate those families. And not only that, appreciate, I know your son just received, it's been a week and a half, maybe, and 2 weeks on Wednesday.
It'll be 2 weeks on Wednesday that he was on dialysis, believe it or not, folks, 20 and a half years, and he just received a kidney transplant 10 days ago, and just he is overwhelmed in his life and just so happy, and I had warned him what's going to happen. So, before he even told me, I knew the life, because you on this machine and you live a certain life, because there's so many restrictions while you're on dialysis
Yeah.
that you get used to living that way. And then when you get a transplant, you go back to normal and you say, oh my God, oh wow, I feel like a new person. But
Yeah.
yes, my son, he's doing well. I just talked to him late last night. He gave me his numbers. He gave me a account number that I can go into the hospital and see what's going on with him, so I don't have
Okay.
to call him every day. I can read his charts and everything, because he goes back now. He's been going, had 2 other visits since the transplant, but
Yeah.
he just doing well. And I don't look at it as lucky. I look at it as a blessing.
Yeah.
I tell people it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Well, and let's take a moment to honor that family too, that signed up for Donate for Life, and that signed
Mhm.
up to be a donor. Because I mean, if you look at how much you can have a life change, this is literally through Donate for Life is how you and I met.
That's
And
how we met.
we met, we met through just you having a shirt on that had Donate for Life over it, and me having a story where I got associated with Donate for Life when I got to meet my friend's heart recipient.
Mm-hmm.
And in that heartbeat, and to see the ripple effect of that action and how many lives that saved, and to see my friend in a new light of a hero, it brought my life to the next level. And because of that awareness and that intention, they literally led you into my life. And the second I saw the Donate for Life, I felt this heart connection with you that I just had to go and talk to you and just to know you, especially once you started telling me about your life story.
It's strange, and like I say, really, folks, she is so true. We met by me walking into one of her place she used to work, a vitamin shop, and she just by the shirt I had on, it was struck up a conversation. In fact, she was not my salesperson. She just saw the shirt I had on, and we hit it off, and we met, we talked, and we have talked about things, and it's been what, almost 2 years, Dusty?
I
Over
feel like
2 years.
it's been about 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, and she had followed me in my life, and each time we talked, she finds out something different about myself. But I am the same down there person, because I get teased because I get asked to be on TV shows, I get asked to do commercials. I was asked to do 2 movies last year. One of them still in process of getting edited. And so I have had the opportunity, and people, my friends, I'm still surrounding myself with my friends, my very positive friends. And somebody said, well, man, you ought to be way up here doing this, doing that. No, I like the way my life is going. And I always said, if I ever make it big, I still want to be the down to earth guy. I don't want to try to separate myself from my friends and try to find some more friends, because people like you and many others who've been in my life and who are friends, they will always be there for you.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah.
always be there for you.
Well, and you have been such a beautiful example of passing along those messages, you know, passing along, sharing those lessons with me, and just allowing me to take in your life story. And literally I'm honored by the gifts that you've given me, because you literally have helped me elevate. You know, I was writing today, I was even you know, I started a new book, and I literally, because of you and because of actually that podcast not happening last week, it forced me to even go to a new level. And
Yes.
all of a sudden I hit that level and it just starts pouring out.
Mm-hmm.
And
You know, and that's something else I tell people. Everything happened in your life for a reason.
mm-hmm.
Everything happened for a reason, and don't take nothing for granted. Nothing for granted. So that moved you to another level by us not doing that last week.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, and you've got such a beautiful, you know, I've witnessed the gifts that you get in your life, because I know the phone calls that you get. I know when you know, I know when you've had those great connections and those great conversations. And honestly, I call it your, like, it's your Christmas morning. Like every day you get your Christmas gifts, well, you know, and it's so deserved though, you know, it's so deserved because you give back so much.
So much. Well, and that's just my nature. And
mm-hmm.
like I say, I tell people, like, when things happen, I say, oh my God, guess who called me? I'd have met people, I'd have cooked for people who I get called and asked for. I had some of the phone calls. I just got appointed by the American Association of Kidney Patients in St. Petersburg, Florida. I am the state representative, one half representative for the state of Michigan. There's two of us here, and we tackle and go to Washington. We do speaking engagement, but we talk to all our senators and representatives from this state. And when I wrote mine, there was 13 of them that I wrote to meet them, and the House of Representatives and the senators, and they opened their doors to let me come in and speak to them. And I sit down and explain to them who I am, what I'm going to be doing with them over the next 3.5 years. And it was an eye opener for me, because I'm representing Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm representing all the transplant kidney patients in the state of Michigan and doing things for them, fighting for them, going to Washington to make sure certain bills get passed. We have things with medication and insurance. So just being asked to do that. And when the phone call came up, I was surprised. And I just filled out the papers since we have talked.
Congratulations.
That little goof up didn't record any. I just filled out a form where I've been asked to sit on the national board of the United Network for Organ Sharing, which is a Washington-based committee who is over every transplant center in the United States.
That
so
is
I've been
amazing.
asked, and so just those things. And what it is, it's just the old boy upstairs is showing his appreciation of what I am doing down here. I mean, you're making open doors, because he said, oh, I tell you, that guy there should be a great guy to be on this board, because he's a go-getter and we can use some of it. But that's just life. And when you put in something, it's just like a computer, garbage in, garbage out, and you put stuff in, it comes out okay. And that's the way life is. You got to do something in life. Things don't just come to you. I have had students when I go and speak at the colleges and high school about being a chef. People say, I want to be like you. How can I be like you, just like that? I said, you have to crawl before you can walk. You have to crawl. You have to put in your time. You have to, I did a lot of volunteering, and which I still do a lot of volunteers. I did a lot of donation time by going to charities and work for them by cooking and doing things. Not because I said, hey, if I do that, I get some award. No, I did it because in my heart You know, we have a big problem here in Michigan, in Midland, Upper Michigan, over northeast of here, where they had a dam broke. My heart aches because I wish I can go over there, take my big grill. I have a super large grill that's got a wood side and a gas, then go there and just cook for all those people over there who's homeless right now because their homes are flooded. And I said, I wish I could go there and do something for them, but under the lockdown, not lockdown, but the virus that we have going on, number 19, you know, and the safe distance and stuff, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's just my heart is in the right place. And I do think about doing even a little bit more to helping those who cannot help themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
Well, and I think, you know, what people forget, you know, we live in such a busy world. We live in such a distracted world. We live in such a separated world. And I think that, you know, when you get back to those footsteps right in front of you, you know, like you're saying, you got to crawl before you can stand, and you got to walk before you can run, and everything like that. Like it's those stepping stones. It's again, it's those actions, and knowing that intention, you know, the intention, and where I can see, I feel like your intention in your life has always been to serve at a higher level. That seems like a driving force. That's how you fill your cup. You fill your cup by being able to help others. And
that's what I do. Because if I can, when I go out and speak in these locations, wherever I go, I want to touch someone. If I can just touch one person life and change their life for them, or either get one person to sign an organ donor card or teach them how to eat healthier, I have succeeded by getting that one person. But I love it, and when I get the invites to speak places and go places, I'm all up for it. I am all up for it. I had to cancel out one big one. That's what we've been doing in Baltimore because of the virus, and there was 3 television interviews and 3 radio interviews, and I had another podcast that had to change around. There was another person who's been doing a podcast. So I want to have myself open because I'm retired now, and so I have plenty of time, and so I just want, like I say, believe in giving back.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that really gives me hope about what you were saying and kind of the new places that you've gotten yourself on is on the boards and everything like that is that shows me that whatever system is behind you that got you there, whoever is choosing to put you in that position, if that's all of us, where like however that system works, that system to me is in the right direction. Because you are an amazing representation of just our human nature, like our true human nature of how we can live a life of excellence and service.
Well, and like I said, I have as 2 strong person in my life growing up, and a lot of kids don't get to have that. I had a mother and father who was very, very religious. They believe in teaching their kids right. Out of the 6 kids they had, none of them been in jail, none of them been in that kind of trouble, none of them strung out on drugs. And so they did a very good job of raising all 6 of us. And so they taught us stuff. I can tell you an example that my dad did, and I won't drag it out, but one day I was going through my little city down in Greenville, driving through. I was 16 years old. I just got my car, and I had a friend in my car. My dad knew the guy, and I hear somebody honking behind me, another car, and I looked back at my dad. So I pulled over, got out, met my father at the trunk of my car, and he was looking at my car. He said, "Who is that in your car?" I said, "It's so and so, so and so." He said, "That's who I thought." He said, "Put him out." I said, "What?" He said, "Put him out. Hey, boys are nothing but trouble." And the words my dad said, he said, "How can you fly like an eagle when you're hanging around turkeys?" And he told me to put that guy in my car and didn't want me to be around him because he knew the guy was trouble. So it's surrounding yourself with positive people. And I still do that now. It's not that I don't, there's certain people who would love to come in my life, but I know their history. I
Yeah.
know what they do. And
Yeah.
I don't want to, and I just don't want to surround it because I have a lot of positive friends. I can pick up a phone and call certain people and boom, they can open doors for me and show me where to go. And
Mhm.
I know, tell you, three of the top people in the Grand Rapids area, I know I can call and ask them something, and they would do it for me. And somebody said, "You know them?" I say, "Yeah, I know, and yeah, I know them," because it's just how you show yourself in the community.
Yeah.
Show yourself, building
Well,
respect.
yeah.
Respect.
And that reminds me of when, and I still use this as a story too, because I think it just was great. Like when you guys, I kidnapped him as a mentor, literally. Like he was not going to be able to say no. And what I had to do is it wasn't that I was like, oh, this is what I want from you. This is what I want from you. No, it was, how can I show up for you?
Yeah.
How can I show up for you? And I remember thinking, even on our third time of sitting down, I could still feel like you really just were looking at me like, why are you still showing up? Or they're just that I was showing up. And I think that that's where a lot of people have said that they were going to show up for you and
Yeah.
never did.
I have had that happen to me, and I can almost feel it in the beginning if they was true what they saying, because everybody
Yeah.
said, "Well, I want to meet you, and you can tell me what I can do to get started on this project or that project." I said, "Okay, meet me here on this day," and blah 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 blah. I go there and I sit for 45 minutes, and I said, "Okay." I don't call them. I just, "Hey, you're not interested. You're not interested," because I'm willing to help somebody. Everybody said, "Well, how would you charge them?" Money is not almost really everything. I've been given, like I said, I've been given a lot of things, and I want to give back to people. If they ask me for some advice, my advice come free.
Yeah.
My advice and my recipes come
Yeah.
free. I send out recipes almost cheap, but 4 to 5 times a week.
Okay.
People write me and want to know a recipe, and if and they say, "Can I have it in the next half an hour?" I say, "Okay." Boom, boom, boom. I get them a recipe because they may want to have some for dinner that I can get them. But again, giving back,
Yeah.
giving back.
Well, and not only that, with where I met you in my life and where I was, the doors that I was trying to open up for myself as well, and just the experience of your life, having the honor and the privilege of, first of all, you agreeing to meet with me once, let alone 3 or 4 times, also caused me to make sure I was very damn clear on my commitment and my ability to show up. Like it was
Yeah.
gonna take a lot. It was gonna take a lot to stop me from meeting you whenever and wherever you wanted to meet. I was willing to, and this is where I think too, we have a hard time as humans in the society that we've created is a matter of deserving, because we like, oh, I deserve this, or I'm worthy of this, but you gotta earn it. Like you earn it. You earn these gifts.
Earning. And actually, I said earlier, earning respect, earning the privilege to go here, earning the privilege. And people think you just can just waltz in and boom. Some people do. Now, I mean, there's some people born with a silver spoon in their mouth, and say, what is it? I can't think of it now, but there's a saying that there's 3 ways of getting something, blah blah blah. But we won't get into that. But Dusty, now we are all put here for a reason. Our time here is, we don't know how long. We have to make the best of those time, and also we have to leave a legacy about our time. I want somebody to remember who Oliver Hale was, or Chef O. I want them to know who he was and what he did and how he lived his life.
Yeah.
And even though right now there's a chokehold on everything we do, but you have to make the best of it, and that's what I have done.
Well, I want to ask you like 2 more questions, and then we'll kind of start wrapping up a little bit.
Okay.
But in those moments where you know, like you didn't know if you were going to make it. Like you didn't, you know, you were faced with, you don't have any control over life whatsoever. What story, because we often think that the first place that we shouldn't go to is feeling like a victim or whatever, but oftentimes it's a necessary part of the first draft. Like, and we do go there, but what did you have to give up in getting out of a story like that, or getting out of a knee-jerk reaction to somebody telling you you may die because your kidney's not working?
Well, it really didn't have to give up anything. It just, for many years, I based my life on three little letters, ABC. Called it my ABC rule in life.
Okay.
And I developed that back right up to high school, back in the early 70s. And my ABC in life, folks, is one, A. My parents taught us, all the kids, about whenever you walk out that door, that front door of the house, you're going to walk out there with a positive attitude. A is for attitude. You walk out of the house with a positive attitude, because that's going to make and break your day. If you walk out of your house with a PO attitude, everything you do is going to be, you're going to look at it at a different way. You walk out of the house in a happy mood, go out in the world, and you're going to be happy, and your day is going to be made up on that attitude for the day. And that's what I did. I always try to walk out with a positive attitude. When I first got sick, I had won my first United States Tennis Association tournament. It was a 5-state tournament, and we won doubles. And I wanted to turn pro. I wanted to be a pro tennis player. And as I'm going to turn pro, 2 weeks, Dustin, 2 weeks exactly from the day I won that tournament. 2 weeks later, I'm flat on my back with total kidney failure. That was my big letdown. But again, I had to look back in my bag and sit there one day and say, just remember, Oliver, your attitude, your attitude, attitude. And so my attitude, B, believing in myself and believe in a higher spirit. I say my parents were raised in a very Christian home. We didn't eat until my dad got home. We said a prayer before we, a blessing of the food before we ate, and we said a blessing before we went to bed. I believe in God. I put everything before him, and I think when things do get bad and when things are good, I thank him. But also, I also believe in myself, because if you believe in yourself, you can do it. And if you can see it, you can do it. And that's the other thing that got me going than me sitting around, oh, boo, I'm sick. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. What am I going to do? I'm showing you the medals. I have 32 medals now that I have won in tennis, fencing, and track and field. And those didn't come by just showing up. They came from giving all I had, because I believe I can do it. I remember my first international tournament was in Innsbruck, Austria. I'm standing on this hilltop, looking at all the snow-capped mountains around me, getting ready to play tennis on a clay court. And I just said, this is what believing in yourself will get you. Believing in I never did picture myself going to be in a foreign country doing that. And my last one is C, continuing to believe in the attitude, continuing into my life, continue to go forward, continue to climb that ladder where I would never reach the top, because I don't want to reach the top, because I always want to be climbing that ladder. Yeah. And those are things, those are the three words, the three things in my life that keeps me going, Dustin, to keep me, my attitude, keep me moving forward, because I don't want to sit around and say boo-hoo or be sorry for myself, because no one's going to do it for you. Yeah. No one's going to make you do it, because they can tell you to do it, but no, it's up to you. And you have that positive attitude about doing what you want to do. And we have talked about different projects you're working on. And I look at where you were then a couple of years ago and where you are now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and anybody that to me is living a wholehearted, like inspired life of gratitude and service, man, they know what those lights are in their life. They know what those principles are in their life.
Mhm.
And that's where I think we could really learn from is instilling those principles again, and then taking those footsteps in the path of those values.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and that's, that's the love of my life, is helping other people,
Yeah.
figure out what those values are and set those guideposts up, because it's, that's where we can have such impact. One
Yeah.
person,
Oh,
anybody
one
that
person.
says
Oh,
one person can't change the world. If you look at the story just between you and I, how many one persons had to
oh.
influence this story to come together.
Yeah. And I have, like say, I was a mentor for an organization here, and the kid that I had was just beautiful. And when I got done with his parents could not say enough about what I had taught him.
Yeah.
And the first thing I taught him was earning respect.
Yeah.
And you have to earn respect. You just don't go walk out and you get it. So.
Well, again, I appreciate you sitting down with me again and
Oh,
having this conversation. I just love you so dearly. I
well,
do.
our friendship goes a long way, and I'm so happy that I met you, and we have become close friends, and we talk to each other. I know, like say, right now we under shutdown, but I love sitting and having lunches with you. We have many lunches. We have our favorite little places we go to, and
Yeah.
met some people, and we discuss things, and the respect that I get when I do go to places. You've been with me cup time when we go off in places. There are people that knows me and know who I am. Even the owner of one of the restaurants we went to, I didn't. We have a tight bond because he knows who I am and
Yeah.
respect. And so I thank you for letting me meet you and come into your life
Yeah.
and go on.
Well,
So
and first off, how can we best support your mission? I know that you don't have just one mission right now. I know that you've got
oh,
several.
that's coming. We'll talk
Okay.
about that later.
Okay.
It's coming.
So right
But
now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that your email is put in the introduction.
yes,
So
but my
if somebody
email
wants
that
to
people
reach
can
out.
email me at any time, or you can text me. We'll put up my phone number. You got that. You can
Okay.
so people can text me. Uh, my biggest thing I tell people: sign your driver's license. Be an organ donor, please, because there is right now a little bit over 112,000 people in the United States who are waiting for organ donation, and every day 8 people die for not being able to get an organ done. But also, when those 8 people die, there's another 22 that's added to the list because the health situation in the United States are bad. People don't take care of themselves until it's too late.
Yeah.
And right now, I just know that I go to dialysis centers and talk to people. I'm a mentor to the family when they call me, ask me to come in. I just had another person from Brighton, Michigan, the mom had called me to come talk to her son, and she was so glad to call and let me know that he got a transplant. So
Oh, that's incredible.
I open doors and give them. I want to paint the picture, but I don't want to paint it all roses. I want to let them know the bad things that's going to be happening to them too,
Yeah.
so they can prepare themselves. But 90%, over 98% of the people that I talk to have some successful moments.
Okay.
Have had successful moments.
Well, and I will make sure, because Donate for Life is so close to my heart as well, I'll make sure that their contact information and how they can sign up to be a donor, I'll make sure that that's included as well, so
Now, is it your show nationwide at all, Dustin?
Yes, yep, it is
Okay.
nationwide.
Tell them to go to United Network of Organ Sharing. Just go there, United Network of Organ Sharing, because each state has a different DMO or gift of life or organ procurement. So you go to the United Network for Organ Sharing out of Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
They will set you up. Okay.
I will make sure that we put I'll make sure that we put their information in there as well.
Okay.
And just thank you again. Thank you
No,
so
we're
much.
we're always going to be in touch. We always going to be in touch. 'Cause, you never know when you meet somebody what they're going to do in your life. And you're going to, that's who I can call.
Yeah.
And so I'm there for you. I'm only a phone call. And I'm always only a phone call away from you folks. If you ever need a healthy recipe or need somebody to need some questions answered about organ donation, I'm your guy. Okay.
Oh, that's amazing, Oliver. Well, thank you again so much for your time, sweetheart. And I'll make sure that you get sent a copy of this as well.
Oh, thank you. And then I want everybody to listen in and watch the show. Okay.
All right, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, hon.
Hey, happy Memorial Day to you and everybody else.
Yes.
Okay.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.